Evening, everybody. Welcome back to the garage. We're working on the old blue Willys, building a fuel tank for it. If you've been following along, this is where we're at. So basically this is a stainless steel 18 gauge fuel tank. Be about 20 gallons that fits under the rear of the body. We started by making this foam buck, and then we transferred it, all the patterns, to this. So we've been going through and doing all the seams and the corners. We're on the second big piece, and yesterday I gotta admit got a little frustrated and decided just to stop at a good point and get some dinner and come back the next day. And today went so much better. It's still a challenge. We're definitely fitting a lot of different angles and pieces together, so I thought I'd pass on a couple little tricks that I tried today that made the tacking process better. So I am using this HP Alpha TIG. It's an AC/DC machine, 200 amps. For the price, I really love this thing. And but I did make a couple changes. So I went back down to a 1/16 tungsten and gas lens cup. And then we're down only at about 70 amps for tack welding, and that's pretty much only about half pedal. So that gave us a little bit more finesse on the tacking process, but the other half of that was just concentrating a lot more on how to hold things. And I think that's most of the work, is getting everything held in the right position, because I only have one hand, two hand, and if you're holding something like a camera or a TIG torch, you're really limited on what you can push because you're trying to add filler at the same time. Sometimes you can do a fillerless tack if you're really close and you get all the angles right, but I really like to have the ability to add filler in there, so I like to have both my hands. And that means we have to be better at doing things like this, where we are using multiple clamps in the table and sandbags and all this stuff to get these seams as tight as we can, so that we can get these really small, fast tack welds, and that will make the full welding process later much easier. So turn this off, I think. So I wanted to go over one small hiccup. So that was this front wall here, which was the very tail of this piece, the front wall, which is all one piece from here. So it goes over here, down here, up here, back over here, down here, across, and then finally up. And I just ended up about a 1/4 inch short. So what I will do in that is I will cut it off here, and then I will just weld in its own single panel on the inside and the outside of that seam to fix that little thing. I think that's a lot easier than trying to add something here. This ended up just slightly too far back. You can kind of see here there's a little overlap, so we got to trim this. If we were to trim this back, it would affect this whole edge and how this piece comes together. So I think just replacing this one wall, flip the tank over, and then just cut it across that bend, or actually slightly behind the bend, because we're trying to match up with this corner here. And so that's the best way to deal with that. But overall, pretty happy how the fit up's going. I do have some more work to do in this area down here, pulling some of this stuff together, you can see. But overall, much better day, good progress, and pretty happy when this thing will be together and we can flip it over and start building all the stuff on the top. So thanks for following along in my little garage craziness here with the old blue Willys. Make sure if you have a question or tip or comment or whatever, I'm trying to answer every one, so drop a comment below. That really helps out with the videos. There's a bell on this side, I think, or subscribe. Follow the channel, get notifications when I post new videos. generally I'm doing these short dailies for right now, and then eventually when we get on, maybe do a different section of the project. Something like a week update might work better. So we're going to try some different things. We're still growing. Thanks for following along. We'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.